So it's Labor Day, or as I like to call it, Slaves Day. I don't know how many people are going to come in, but it is a holiday here in Canada. Some people might walk by. I don't really want to get people in the frame, but I mean, whatever, I'm in public. If they happen to get in it, then oh well. It's pretty nice weather today here in Toronto. It's like one of the last nice weekends of the summer here. I'll be leaving in a few weeks. But let's talk about working. I hope people can hear me as well. How you doing, B. Stevie? Can you hear me? I guess so. I prefer to use the headphones because it kind of cancels out a lot of the noise, and I'm by a busy street here. But it's amazing how, at least it's a day off, Labor Day, and people can sort of just relax for, after working so hard, and people do work hard. There are a lot of lazy people, don't get me wrong, but people do work hard and they don't get paid enough. I know this has probably been a topic that's been beaten to death, but it is true. Minimum wage did go up here in Ontario, which would be the state version, but it's province here in Canada, a few years ago. But it's still not enough because it cannot keep up with the inflation, okay, and the cost of living that goes on here. Hello, everybody. I'm inspiration. Well, I do what I can. I just come here and talk, speak my mind, talk about what I see going on, but I've let go of the depressing stuff, the being down, and I'm not saying that clinical depression doesn't exist, because I think people do get, because of toxicities and all kinds of different things like that. But I had been depressed in the past, and when I worked a lot, it was even worse. I mean, where you essentially see that you're working away your life hour after hour, day after day, and it doesn't amount to anything. And even those who have like amazing jobs, high-paying jobs that they went to 4 or 5 years of university, doesn't even cut it. You still have to get a mortgage in most cases. I'm just going to check the comments here. Yeah, I heard that it's from the forest fires going on in Western Canada. Europe has that same holiday. I didn't know that. Greetings from Germany. Hello. I don't know why you want to talk about the genocide. You already know what's going on. There's genocide that's been going on since the beginning of time. Yes, it is happening. People don't want to admit that, though. I don't even think I can say that specifically on here about that, because YouTube will go after me, I guess. What's up, Brandon? Good to see you. Black Hole, how you doing? Yeah, Labor Day. Labor Day to celebrate telling people working is good. It's great. I don't even know what that music is going on in front of me. I think it's an ice cream truck. Maybe I should run down and get an ice cream. This guy's working on Labor Day. And actually, not everyone gets this day off, to be honest. What the hell is that? Yeah, I think it is. I hope you guys can hear me despite the music going on. It is an ice cream truck. It's a different song than I remember when I was a kid. Gray bras. What are you saying there? Oh. I can't even read because the sun is. Let me go into the shade here. All right, that's better. Hello to everybody who's sending a message. So I've talked about working in the past, and the music's gone. There's some guy doing some boxing. I honestly think there's no work balance in life anymore as well. A lot of people just, they've been taught about the hustle. Hustle is good. And, you know, if that's what you want to do to try and make it, and you make it, when I say make it, like survive, it's okay. I mean, I'm not here to like chastise people and do what they got to do, but you just have to look around and you see that just there's going to be so many more homeless and broke people. It's going to be insane. What's up, everybody? Good to see you too. It's a little sunny out here and it's hard to read. Co-workers want to get together today, but I think I'd rather not see them on a day off. Yeah, that's weird. I mean, if you like your co-workers and you guys get along, that's a plane going right over there. Shit. That's cool, you know, but most people don't even want to be bothered with their co-workers. I had co-workers that I liked and some co-workers that I didn't like. Nick, let me finish my thought before I address these comments. But yeah, so I mean, I'd hang out with one or two of them, but I wouldn't really go out of my way to hang out with them, to be honest. This person is saying, don't you have any morals? Nick, I really think you should try honesty. I think you are coming here to troll. Yeah, you see through me, okay. Whatever you want. I'm gonna stay here in Hell Realm, okay. Who decides that? You? Or the other person that claims that I was there to rip them off? Come on, I really don't care. He's probably showing me on his live right now. I really don't care. I have no ill will towards him. I have no ill will towards anybody on his channel. That's the honest truth. And then these people come and want to say, you're gonna be stuck here, you're dishonest. Okay, that's fine. I don't really care what these people think about me. Anyway, I'm here to talk about Labor Day and the fact that so many people are unemployed, so many people looking for jobs. Actually, I was looking at the job market, and it is quite difficult here in Canada. I'm sure it is like that around the world. And yeah, and the ones that are available don't even pay that much. I saw a comment someone said the other day where they expect like all these skills in order to, and they get I think like $25 an hour or something like that, but they have to like know how to do this, which, you know, back in the day you'd have to know something like that, but one of those skills. But they want to pay less and less for more, and it's just crazy. That was even there or something. So yeah, I mean, I will talk about how I'm not against working per se. I think I mentioned this on a live of somebody's the other day. Because in a functioning society, you have to have people doing all kinds of jobs. You have to have people doing the dirty jobs that no one really wants to do. And they should be paid a fair wage. They should be given time off. They should have benefits. And I think, well, really every worker should, but a lot of jobs, they get shafted. A lot of people don't get what they deserve. It's too bad, but I think that this is only going to get worse and worse over time. You're going to see, like I mentioned, more people suffering, not even able to just get by, which is kind of sad. I wish that it would turn around. I don't know what the unemployment rate is now in Canada. I think it's like 8% or something like that, which is quite a lot of people if you tally it up. But you also get a lot of people who come here and they just want to live off the system too, right? Let's see what we have comments here. Yep, at the park. It's a nice day. Not against working, but against slave wages. Exactly, slave wages. And they get away with it because they know that these people are desperate for jobs. They need the job, so they won't say no to it. And that's what happens, you know, when you know that when somebody is holding something over you, you really don't have a choice. They know that. I saw your video about religion. I know where you're coming from. Yeah. Sorry, I really can't. It's bright here. I'm making more than I ever have, and I'm leaving the job for school. I can't wait. Yeah, I mean, if you want to, and that's the other thing. You can't try to better yourself and do, like, it's really hard to balance everything. Like go to classes, go to work, and still have some sort of a life, you know. And it's too bad. And making a lot of money doesn't always fix the problems, because people have to put so many hours in, and I've noticed actually when people have more and more money, they want to spend it, and which, you know, you get into this cycle of buying and making money and just continuing with the commercialism of this society rather than just saving up money. Like I know people who buy a bunch of crap but they make good money and they never save anything because they're just buying too much crap. So I don't know. I think if I wasn't still in the regular working force, I'd just be saving as much money as possible to try to escape the matrix. It's hard to be really financially free when inflation and taxes keep on rising. Yeah, and I think there's actually going to be raising taxes here in Canada again. I am in Canada for the time being. I was here for a friend's funeral, a very close friend, who I will use as an example as someone who worked so hard at a good job, made 6 figures. This guy, he was a hard worker. He worked to get to the top. He was in telecommunications. And look, I mean, he saved money, and he left it for family. And they even taxed the shit out of whatever was left for him, whatever's left for the family, I should say. I think he had like over $300,000 in Canadian dollars, and the government still, I think, was taking about 40%, if I'm not mistaken, because some of it was in RSPs. And when you die, before the maturation is done, you basically, it still counts as if like you didn't get it matured, which is ridiculous. When someone passes away, that should just eclipse the maturation of an investment. So they tax like crazy on that. I do meditate. It's very difficult because I'm still training myself to meditate. It does help to calm the mind and relax. Too much stimulation is not good. I live outside. Nobody cares about me. I'm going to end. Okay, well, I hope you don't. Stay with us. You never know when you're going to kick your last bucket. Yeah. Kick your bucket on either. Yeah, that's true. And that's what I mean. Like, you work so many years, and for what? I mean, some people save up to buy a house, and by the time it's paid off, they're like, you know, in their 60s or 70s. Yeah, okay, you leave it for your kids or whatever, but it's just insane, the whole system. It's just insane. And we do need people to work. We need, in order for things to function. This is obvious. I'm not saying for everyone just to quit everything. Like, I think they did that quiet quitting years ago, and then it wouldn't work. It just wouldn't work. Then everything would just fall apart. It's absolutely ridiculous. And for those of you that you come here and troll and stuff, I'm honored that you come to my channel and you have nothing better to do. It's all good, you know. I don't have ill will towards anybody, accusations or otherwise. It's, you know, I just don't have the bandwidth for these people. I understand we need to work in order for this to keep going, but I had to turn out, and I'm sorry. I feel burnt out, and I'm only 24. Most times I work, my anxiety makes me physically ill. Yeah, I've been there. And as you get older, it's not easy. You're only 24 and you're already stressed out with anxiety. Thank you, Monsieur. A good bless. Thank you. I think I'm gonna sit in the shade here. It's much easier to read the comments, and I'm not on the bench. His matrix is your home. This matrix is your home. Sorry, the matrix is your home. Come alone and die. All right, let's try to be a little bit positive. I understand this place sucks, and you know, for the most part, it sucks. And we're literally born to work, you know, go to school, get a job, try to make money, blah blah blah. But that's not everyone's doing that. Some people are actually, you know, we can't enjoy it. You can't enjoy our time here, even if you have to work. Now, I know that it's getting much tougher to pay for things, to pay for the utilities and things like that. But you got to hang in there. What other choice do you have, to be honest? I know that a lot of people get into drugs and then they get into drinking and things like that, and that's what anxiety and stress will do to you in this place. But I just love how they praise labor and you got to work hard, and it's not exactly something to be. It's just something that we should sort of be acknowledging that is necessary. I get into chasing women. Is it okay? Do whatever you have to do, as long as you're not being a weirdo, you know, stalker or something like that. That ain't cool. I mean, I still work online and I teach English. I have my set schedule. Sure, I don't go into an office like a lot of people do. I don't have to deal with coworkers anymore. But I have at one point. I had to deal with that many years ago, for many years. But I figured a way to make it online and just be able to survive, not off grid, but as much as I could possibly can, rather than living in the system that Canada has or the United States has, which is it's preaching that we gotta get rich and, you know, just buy all this shit that you don't need. And I guess I could say minimalism helps. Being a minimalist really, really does help a lot. Do you turn tricks in Toronto? Okay, goodbye. You are gone because you're being very disrespectful. When people start talking shit like that, it's goodbye. And these people claim to be good people. Yeah, okay. Stay in the good spirit then, okay? If that's what your idea of is a good spirit, is asking people questions like that and attacking people, you got issues. Tricks, it's basically like whoring yourself out. That's what they're getting at. There's so many like piece of shit people in this place, man. And they're the ones that claim they're good. And they're the ones that claim, oh, I'm against evil, I'm against this and that. Yet you're the ones attacking every single person. You know, it's not even worth my time, honestly. I have better things to do than worry about these people. I'm old enough, Jose. I'm not giving away information here. No offense. I'm not, I don't. I have to still address these idiots, who come here and they're the ones, like I said, that claim that they're good spirits. Yeah, okay, you're harassing other good spirits, right? That makes sense. There's, they come here and they say, oh, we see you for what you are. I see you too. You're a hypocrite, and you're full of shit. It's fine. I mean, I don't hate people. I'm just not going to tolerate abuse and insults and things like that. No one should have to. I wouldn't say no one, but good people who haven't done anything to them don't deserve that. Yeah, Canada's pretty in the summer. I mean, if you like winter, it's also equally beautiful. Canada's still one of the best countries in the world, even though you got to work pretty much your whole life away. But it is a beautiful place. It used to be much better many years ago. There's many reasons for that. And I'll actually get into one of the reasons why there's a lot of jobs aren't being available these days. They let in a lot of immigrants here, and I'm not against immigration, but they let in a lot of people here who scooped up all these jobs and took it for whatever amount of money they don't, they're used to in their country being paid slave wages, like very, very low wages. And that's why they don't really complain. They just take the job because it's where they're coming from. It's better here than it is in their home country, right? I live right below Canada. I guess America, huh? Do you have a favorite place out east? Ever been to Kingston? I haven't been to Kingston. I do like. I like Peterborough, which is a city east of here. I used to live there when I was a kid, in a small town north of Peterborough. It's a pretty nice city. I haven't been there many years, but from what I remember, it was nice. Yeah, I personally like the heat here. But this hasn't been much of a summer. I've been here for about a month and a half, and there was maybe like a couple weeks of hot weather. I don't really like the cold weather, hence why I moved countries. Brazil is also one of those places that you gotta, like, in order to be able to make it, you gotta work like a fucking madman. It's crazy. It's a very tough life in Brazil if you don't have the right job and the right amount of money. It's just very difficult. And I mean, the same could be said for most places, but I haven't been to Vancouver, anywhere out west. Let's see what else. Common sense is definitely key. I suppose the black pill sphere is replacing the nanosphere. No idea. How much money will it take for a non-resident to travel a week in Canada? Like a tourist? Oh God. If you include like flight and depending on where you're coming from, it's pretty expensive here. Like Airbnbs, hotels, it's all expensive. Even for people who make a very good wage, it's still very pricey. Things have gone up immensely. Summers in Georgia are brutal. Summers in Pennsylvania, though, are much better and bearable. That's where I'm originally from. Yeah, I've been to I've been to many U.S. states. I've been in the wintertime. I actually never went in the summer, except for I was in California. But other than that, it's the winters can be pretty brutal in the U.S. as well for the the East Coast. I've been to Florida as well, but that was in like October many years ago. So it's just, as I was talking about working and jobs and things like that, this is one of the reasons why I don't understand how people continually to bring more and more kids here, because it's just really fucking hard. I can't imagine how hard it's gonna be for all these kids growing up, and if it's already a difficult life now, how it's gonna be for them. Forget about the hell realm stuff of the how dangerous this place is. It's just like even just making a living, and there seems to be going to be less and less jobs with the AI and all these other technologies that are coming out. So it's going to be very complicated navigating the future for these kids. I just don't know how it's going to be, 10, 15, 20 years from now. It's going to be, who knows? Who knows? Start a Discord. I'm not really interested in starting a Discord. I just do videos once in a while here, speaking my mind. Obviously, it triggers some people when the things I talk about here, and it doesn't matter. Panama, the country in Central America. Panama, I've heard a lot of Canadians going to because it's a cheaper lifestyle. Like the cost of living is much less. Mexico used to be, but I think that they've driven up the prices, and the Mexicans are pissed. What other countries? Like Dominican and places in Central America. But you have to keep in mind, you're trading off sometimes your safety, because some of these countries are not the safest. Like Brazil, for example, it's not the safest place in the world. It can be very dodgy. This live's not going to be very long. I just wanted to pop in to say hello to everybody live, just to update what's going on. They had the air show going on because Labor Day, they have something called the CNE, the exhibition, where they have air shows. It's been going on for many years. It's kind of neat. Kind of passes the day. Oh, Salty Siren, I guess you want to come and harass me too, like all the others, huh? You've been committed spiritual crimes. Okay. Says who? Says you. Okay. Bye-bye. Actually, I'm not going to block this person. They aren't saying anything too much. I'm not going to do that. I really don't care. Welcome to the channel, Salty Siren. I don't have anything against you or your favorite channel. Nothing. Not going to attack anybody. Not going to... It's better that way. What other countries would you say you like to go outside of Americas? I haven't been to too many countries, to be honest. I've been to Argentina. That's it for South America. Yeah, I feel sorry for kids too. I mean, I don't know what else I can say about that. It's going to be very complicated. Just reading the comments, guys. Yeah, good to see you, Donald Trump. Yeah, gold, silver prices are probably just going to keep going up as well. So, yeah, this is how it is, guys. I mean, we have no choice but to work unless you're a super wealthy person. And as I was mentioning about the quiet quitting, that some people thought that was the solution. Then they realized really quickly that it wasn't the solution. And because they're just going to hire all these people from outside of the country, take those jobs, and then you're screwed. Then you're really screwed. But yeah, this is how it goes. And it's interesting because with the commercialism, the materialism, they get you to want things, and you got to work even harder to make it and get the money to be able to buy these things. And I mean, for me, I don't even need all of these creature comforts, like gadgets and things like that. I just need to be able to pay for the basics, food and shelter, and that's basically what most people want. But again, we're taught that we have to want this and go after this and have the most expensive car and have the most expensive house or a condo, and that's incentivizing people to work even more and for longer. I mean, there's people who want to retire at 65 or whatever, and then they end up working more. And I mean, I understand it. Some older people, they want something to do. They want to work a little bit longer and make some extra cash, and that's cool. Everyone is entitled to do whatever they want, okay? No judgment here from me. Just 1 second, guys. I had a bad connection over here. I don't know if it's because I'm in the park here and there's a lot of people here. I really don't know. Really can't say. Yeah, the only thing I would say is just like glorifying work is, I just don't think it's all that great. You know, glorifying work. I recognize a lot of people do work hard. I have friends that are like that. I have a guy he works Monday to Friday, sometimes Saturdays. He has 2 kids, so he's forced that he has to just keep working, and make as much money as possible. He does, I think, delivery of dairy products and things like that, sales. But he has to always try and get more clients, and there's a lot of pressure, and that's one of the worst things about working, is one of those pressure jobs, because you're realizing that if you don't get going and make sales, you're not going to make that extra money that you need, that you're counting on. Clarifying suffering isn't good either. Well, yeah, glorifying suffering, yeah. I mean, they do that. Oh, you gotta hustle, you gotta, no pain, no gain, and this and that, and it's like, fucking be. Anyways, guys, I just thought I'd come in. This is a random live video. I figured I would just share this nice weather and talk a little bit about Labor Day. When I worked Labor Day, I pretty much worked all Labor Days from when I was working normal jobs. And you get paid time and a half. And you were thinking, oh, it's going to be great, but it really wasn't that much more money. And the old saying is like, the more you make, the more they take, right? The government taxes you more for that. So I don't mind paying taxes, okay? This is the one thing that a lot of people they don't want to pay any taxes. You have to keep things in shape, and taxes do that, right? But the thing is, the governments these days are wasting all the money, sending it to Ukraine and supporting wars and not doing programs that actually help people. They do like almost the bare minimum of things. So there's that. That's the problem I have with taxes. Let's just read a few more comments and then I'm gonna head off. Yeah, I blocked the noise. It's okay. I won't block people unless they're being, swearing or insulting. I'm not gonna block people for that. Try finding anonymous ways to make money. Yeah, I mean, you used to be able to make money under the table, and that's very difficult these days because a lot of companies don't want to do it. They're worried they're going to get caught by the tax man, right? Maybe I'll give you guys a look at the park here. There's not really too many people here. It's pretty nice. High Park in Toronto. P, hey man. Nick, you are the chosen one. No, I'm not. I don't even know what you're talking about when it comes to chosen one. I'm just the guy that comes here and speaks my mind, and you get tacked for that. People just, whatever. Let people do what they want. That's another example of how this, goes to show you what this place is. Even people who claim to be good souls, good spirits, attack good people because they don't know. Yeah, I don't claim to be no chosen one. I'm just a simple guy, a being in this realm that's just trying to figure out things as well. How's the food, Toronto versus Brazil? Well, here you get a lot of mixed culture foods. Like you can find anything you want from pretty much any country. Brazil, not so much. It's mainly like the ethnic foods that you can get in Brazil, like Chinese food and Indian food. If you go to Sao Paulo, you can find all kinds of stuff, but in Rio, not so much. It's BS, Nick. Too many idiots here. I'm not gonna call anybody names. I don't care. Unless they insult me. I'll block them. Einstein once said the universe might be finite, but human stupidity is certainly infinite. Yeah. It's okay, like guys, don't worry about me, honestly. I've dealt with this all for a long time, you know. The best way to deal with it is just not even to respond, and I mean like in a negative way and cursing, and it just, there's no point. I actually care about those people. I'm gonna say this. I actually care about those people on the other channels. I won't even say names because it doesn't matter. But all those people who think I'm this person that they think I am, whatever it is, a demon or whatever they call me, you know, I care about them. I actually have no ill will towards any of them, including the person who runs the channels. I really don't. And they can believe whatever they want, but this is the truth. It's better for me not to even, you know, have those feelings of anger, and like people just get triggered from everything. I'm done with that. I'm done with that. I really am. I'm above that. I wish them all the best. I really do. And because I totally understand in some aspects, in some ways, that how they get attacked, like the specific person. And yes, I see that. It definitely does happen. There's a lot of fucking piece of shit demons in this realm, and that's true. But I mean, I'm not gonna go there anymore. I really don't care. Can do whatever they want. Non-existence is heaven. Well, I don't want non-existence. I don't know why people always say they'd rather be non-existent. I think there's something much better than this place. That's what I'll say. What do you think about colonization of Mars in the future? I don't know. I don't even know if planets and all that stuff exist anyway. Yeah, Brendan, I miss Brazil too. I wish that it would be a little bit better. You know, things would improve there, but I don't know if that's going to happen. But it still beats being stuck in the wintertime here. How do you deal with heartbreak, and what do you think are the basic human emotional needs which is unsatisfied add to the misery? Well, I think love is the most important emotion of all. I think love, and you can include empathy in that too. I think that we should be less emotional, just like me today with dealing with people who are insulting and stuff, you know. Doesn't mean that you have to take it, but I'm not going to react emotionally and get sad and get angry. It just doesn't make sense. I think people need to be quite a bit less emotional. Control the emotions. I think controlling the emotions is much better. Last few comments, Signa, and then I'll go. Nothing beats nothing. I still don't agree with that, but it's okay. Just try to enjoy that you're here, you know. That's the best thing you can do. But be also aware of where we are. Simulation theory, yes, more or less, yes. I don't think it's lights out. Compassion is far greater than love, and empathy, but you don't want to have empathy for every single. You got to choose who gets the empathy. That's what I would say. Well, I'm gonna end it there, guys, because I'm getting kind of hungry, and I'm gonna head back. But maybe I'll do one more live before I leave. But I hope that you guys enjoyed Hello, Pakistan. Welcome to the live. But I really do hope all the best for you out there and whoever's watching this later. I really do. Just do the best you can. Enjoy as much as you can. And yeah, take care. We'll see you in the next live very soon. Bye for now.